Hey, what's up guys? The first anniversary raid event is underway and I've been getting a lot of questions about how to beat Nightmare mode. I'm going to touch upon that in this video along with some other topics. I want to also briefly cover the new free character Audric and his welfare dragon Parallel Zodiark as well. Alright, so the key to beating Nightmare is by farming up your raid boosts. Of course, you are still going to need a decently strong dark lead and dragon to transform into as well, but maxing out that raid boost will make Nightmare mode a lot more manageable. But the question is, how do you farm up your raid boost? Well, it gets boosted randomly, it's all RNG, just clear any quest from this event and there's a chance that your raid boost will get boosted. Once you max it out, your team for this raid will receive 100% damage, 50% extra HP, 25% shapeshift prep, and 50% dragon time. In addition to these increased stats, you can also receive rare raid boosts, which are just passive abilities. There's a total of 7 rare raid boosts and 11 raid boosts altogether. On this chart, it includes both normal and rare raid boosts, but going from left to right, there's Dragon Time, Dragon Prep, Broken Punisher, Dragon's Bane, Increased Strength, Skill Haste, Skill Damage, Crit Rate, Crit Damage, Overdrive Punisher, and Extra HP. You are allowed to farm these rare raid boosts until you have all 7. Personally, I only have 2. I only have Skill Damage and Overdrive Punisher plus 25%. But yeah, farm up your raid boost to max if you are having trouble with Nightmare mode. Trust me, it will make your raids much easier, and also make sure to build around your boosts. Most of them are just generally useful abilities, but things like extra crit damage and crit rate, you can definitely maximize the effect by building around them. For example, if you get a crit damage boost, then try to increase your team's overall crit rate by giving characters crit rate prints, or maybe even slide a dagger character onto your team just for their crit rate ability. Without increasing your raid boost, you are going to have a very tough time with trying to destroy the weak point during the Dimension Oblivion attack. For those that do not know yet, when Kronos does this attack, a weak point shows up on his body and you have to destroy it before the end of the phase, or else everyone just instantly dies. Kronos is light and the weak point is wind, so your dark team will end up just doing neutral damage to the weak point, which makes it even harder to take it out on time. I do not recommend bringing a flame character equipped with a flame dragon just for this part. I think if your team is unable to destroy the weak point in time with a full dark team, chances are you probably don't have enough DPS to win the fight in time anyway, so I don't recommend it. Plus, it's extremely difficult in trying to keep the AI ally alive, so if you bring an off-emblem character, they are probably going to instantly die somewhere in the beginning of the fight. And this brings me to my next point, which are solutions to keeping your AI allies alive. Your AI allies are going to get hit left and right throughout this whole fight. Kronos just does way too many attacks in a short amount of time. Sometimes you can't iframe every single one, so your job is to iframe as many attacks as possible to minimize the amount of damage that your allies receive. If your team is having trouble surviving, then I recommend that you bring both a lance and an axe ally just for their abilities. That extra HP and defense is going to do wonders. Then for your 4th slot, bring a healer to increase your team's longevity. If you lack damage with this team comp, then replace either the lance or axe with a wand or blade character for their offensive ability. Preferably having more melees on your team is better because they are more tankier than ranged. A couple of notable characters that you should consider bringing if survivability isn't an issue is Galliudin and Audric. Don't use Udin as your lead, instead use him as an AI ally just for his ability, which gives everyone in dragon form 10% extra damage mods and extends dragon time by 20%. Really good stuff. For these raids, every player is going to be in dragon form for like 70% of the fight, so this ability is extremely useful. I also recommend giving him light resistance worm prints just so that he doesn't instantly die, considering that he is going into these quests as an off-element character. For instance, I gave mine Happy New Year's and Castaway's Journal. He's getting the max 15% light res and also 100% paralysis res with those 2 prints equipped. As for Audric, I personally promoted him instantly just for his design, but he's decent, has very niche uses. His 2 skills aren't anything too special. I'm not really sure what the damage modifiers are for his skills unfortunately, but regardless, they are just basic damage skills. Nothing much to them, although SP costs are fairly low, so that's a big pro. They're very reliable skills for iframing. Again, his skills are kind of like whatever, but the highlight of his kit are his abilities. He's got Dragon Prep 10% and Cursed Blood, which is unique. Paralysis res is only at 50%, but that's the norm for welfare characters, so that's to be expected. He's the only one with Dragon Prep as an ability, so there's some cheesy strats that you can pull off with him. For instance, he can transform into a dragon to tank opening blast from any high dragons with the right setup. Regardless whether or not it's an optimal strat, it is something that he can pull off. Now, Cursed Blood increases crit rate by 30% but reduces defense by 30% when Audric is in dragon form. Increased crit rate obviously means potentially more damage. Considering the fact that you are in dragon form for like most of the raid, using Audric as your lead character will slightly increase your overall DPS because of more crits. By the way, since Cursed Blood increases crit rate, this means that Merishiden will be a pretty good pairing to go along with Audric. Cursed Blood is going to help Merishiden scale crit more to get those nice critical bleed damage. But anyways, overall he's just okay. He's pretty good for raid events, however, he probably won't see much use outside of raid-like events unless you are doing some cheesy strats. I do think he's worth promoting, definitely a good Dark Sword freebie. He's not all around useful, but he does have his own little niche. Alright, now let's move on to Parallel Zodiark. Really nice art design, I like it a lot, but unfortunately he's kind of mediocre. He gives 40% crit damage and 20% strength. You don't want a dragon that has crit damage as his main offensive ability because that's when you get into diminishing returns. Arctis, Long, and other similar gacha dragons, you can get by with them just because they grant higher strength. They grant more than just 20%. I think the only reason you should invest dragon fruits into this guy is if you just started this game and you absolutely summon 0 shadow dragons from the current gala banner. Only then should you level Zodiark up, just so you have a decent shadow dragon to use for this current raid event. And yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys have any questions regarding anything, just ask away in the comments. I try my absolute best to reply to every single question, so go ahead and ask away. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.